thing. You don't win just because the sun is shining. You don't rise just because someone handed you the perfect opportunity. Winning is not about conditions. It's about decisions. It starts long before the victory lap. It starts in the mind, in the silence, in that sacred place where no one sees you grinding. You don't wait for the perfect moment, you create it. Because winners don't hope to be lucky, they decide to be relentless. Look around. Some of the most powerful people didn't come from wealth. They didn't have the spotlight. What they had was a decision to refuse to be average, a decision to show up every day even when life kept swinging. While others were sleeping on excuses, they were building on effort. While others were blaming circumstances, they were choosing to rise. Because at the core of every winner is one truth: this is my responsibility, my fight, my victory to claim. There is a dangerous myth that success belongs to the fortunate, that you need the right contacts, the right timing, or the right background. But let me tell you something. Winning doesn't care about your background. It cares about your backbone. It cares about how you respond when life says no. When life closes doors, do you sit down and weep, or do you build a new door? That's the moment that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Every day, you're faced with a choice. Do I give in to fear, or do I press forward in faith? Do I let my surroundings control my outcome, or do I take control of my future? The truth is, your environment may influence you, but it does not define you. Winners are forged in the fire of resistance. They are molded by discomfort, and they are born when excuses die. You can't wait for someone to hand you a blueprint. Life doesn't come with step-by-step instructions. You've got to make bold moves without guarantees. You've got to commit to the journey without knowing how long it will take. The ones who win are the ones who say, I'm going to figure this out, even if I have to build the road as I walk on it. That's the difference. That's the edge. Winning is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of change. Change in your habits, change in your mindset, change in how you respond to defeat. You don't just win when you cross the finish line. You win when you decide, I will never stop moving forward. That mindset turns ordinary people into legends. Don't let your circumstances make your decisions. Don't let fear make your choices. Because fear will always give you an easy way out. But winners don't take the easy route. They take the necessary one. And that means stepping into the unknown, standing tall in chaos, and believing, truly believing, that your willpower is stronger than your environment. Winning at its core is a daily choice to rise, to fight, to refuse to fold. It's not about being lucky. It's about being locked in. It's waking up and saying, I don't care what comes at me today. I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to give it everything anyway. I will win anyway. And that choice made consistently becomes unstoppable. There comes a moment in every battle where everything inside you screams, give up. The pressure mounts, the pain feels unbearable, the odds look impossible. And in that exact moment, you face your greatest test, not of skill, not of strength, but of will. Winners aren't the ones who always know the way. They're the ones who decide, no matter how long this storm lasts, I'm not backing down. See, quitting is always the easier option. It's the tempting voice that tells you, maybe this isn't for you. It whispers, you've tried enough. But those who win in this life, they don't listen to the whisper. They talk back to it. They rise when their knees shake. They move when their path is unclear. They push forward with nothing in their hands but a belief that they were born to overcome. The truth is, every champion has wanted to quit. Every warrior has faced moments of doubt. But what separates them from everyone else is what they did next. They kept going. When it hurt, when it failed, when it embarrassed them. When no one believed, they kept going. Not because it was easy, but because they refused to let the struggle define them. Refusing to quit is not just about pride. It's about purpose. It's about knowing that there's something inside of you worth fighting for. Something greater than your pain. Something deeper than your fear. When you hold on to that purpose, even when everything else is falling apart, you become dangerous. Because the world cannot break someone who will not stop. You may not be the fastest. You may not be the most talented. But if you are the one who refuses to stay down, you will win. Because life doesn't always reward the gifted, it rewards the determined, the persistent, the stubborn soul who says, you can throw everything at me, and I will still stand tall tomorrow. But most people lose the battle not because they were defeated, but because they surrendered too early. They walked off the battlefield when victory was one more step away. They laid down their dreams one struggle before the breakthrough. Don't be that person. Don't let temporary pain cost you permanent greatness. You have to learn how to suffer with strength, how to endure with dignity, how to fight with fatigue in your bones. Because what you're building right now, through the tears, the silence, the pressure, is the very foundation of your legacy thing. And that legacy will not be written by how many times you were knocked down, but by how many times you rose again. So when life tries to break you, bank you, bury you, don't quit. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to the life that's waiting for you. And if you can just keep moving, just keep believing, victory will eventually have no choice but to surrender to your will.